Hello and welcome to the Spot Weather Forecast tutorial video. In this video, we will go through a step-by-step instruction on how to submit requests for spot weather and things to consider when submitting these requests. To start, navigate to the National Weather Service Spot Weather webpage found at spot.weather.gov. Before we go any further in this tutorial, please understand that spot forecasts are not intended for public use. These highly specific forecasts are intended for use by the land management agencies, emergency managers, local, state, or federal agencies, including their officials, coordinators for large public events supporting emergency management functions, and other related use. To submit a new spot forecast, click the New Request button up on the top left side of the Spot Weather Forecast page. And that'll take you straight to the spot forecast request form. To start off, you're going to need to enter either an address for the spot weather forecast or enter the latitude and longitude in decimal degree format. For this example, we'll use the latitude and longitude, make our entry here, and then click the Plot Latitude Longitude button. That will automatically bring you down to this map where it plots the location of your spot forecast request. Just zoom in to make sure that it's in the precise location where you want it. If not, again, you can zoom in or out and click on the location of where you want that spot weather forecast and confirm up top that your latitude and longitude did in fact change. Next, you're going to select what type of incident the request is for. The first four are pretty straightforward, but if your incident or your event does not fall into one of these four categories, you can just select other for anything like earthquake support or a large special event that should get you covered. So for this example, we're going to use wildfire and click Generate Spot Request. This will take you to the next page where it's going to be looking for contact information. For the project name, we'll put the incident, the requesting agency that you're associated with, your name as the requesting official, and the email where you would like that spot weather to be sent to, as well as a phone number that is easiest to contact you at. Below that, we have the location of the spot request. If you're in complex terrain, it's nice to add elevation information where you have the top elevation and bottom elevation, as well as the drainage information, the size of the fire. You'll need to select an aspect and the fuel type associated with that request and the sheltering of the fuels. The forecast information section below details the start time of the forecast and the deliver time of the forecast. Start time of the forecast is precisely when you want the spot weather to start. So if this is an incident that's currently ongoing and you're just looking for information as soon as possible, it'll default to the earliest time. And then if you want it as soon as possible, you just click this deliver as soon as possible button. Please note that this is going to take at least 30 minutes to complete with detail. But if you're looking for spot information for a later date, you can select the calendar option in the top right, select your date and the time that you want that request and what time you want that to be delivered. If your times are offset, it'll automatically select the deliver forecast to the start time of when you want that forecast. Below that section is the forecast format, which you'll need to select as narrative, and then all of the information for which you want the spot forecast. If you want individual elements, you can click these boxes on this grid. If you want everything, just click the top button, or you can select all periods for all elements here. NOAA High Split Model is a selection for spot weather forecasts. It is a model that provides information about how air parcels will disperse and where they will go. This is often very helpful for any hazmat situation that involves air particles that are getting into the atmosphere. Future forecasts, this is if you would like a recurring forecast or not. No is the default, but if you would like a recurring forecast, you just select yes. And that will provide 5 extra dates which you can request your forecast for. You can either select the calendar on the right side here or just edit the dates here and the time of day for each day that you want that forecast. Any remarks that you might have go in here. So winds greater than, let's say, 20 miles per hour will be a problem when combined with humidity below 10%. This last section here is where you would put observations if you have any from the field. This information is super useful to meteorologists, especially if we don't have access to field observations in the form of weather stations or RAWs. If you don't have any weather observations to input at the last section here, don't worry about it. Just come to the bottom, hit submit request, and your request will be sent straight to the National Weather Service office. After submitting your spot forecast request, you will be directed back to the spot forecast monitor page where you can zoom in and check in on the status of your spot forecast. Anything marked in green are completed spot forecasts, while anything marked in yellow are pending spot forecasts. You can either click on an icon on the map to get your spot forecast with the identifier marking a link to the spot forecast itself, or you can scroll down to get a table of spot forecasts and find yours amongst the rest. Once the office completes your spot weather forecast request, that spot forecast will be populated at the bottom of this page under the forecast section and will also be delivered to the email that was provided during the initial spot forecast request. Clicking the monitor button at the top will navigate you back to the main home page, where again you can check on the status of your spot or click new request to start this process over again. If for whatever reason you need to make a change to the spot forecast that you just requested, just go to the email inbox that you set up the spot forecast for and find an email from spotadmin@noaa.gov. That'll be your confirmation for the spot forecast request. In there, you can also find this link under editing your request to edit your request. All you have to do is click on the link, and that'll take you right back to the initial contact information page where you can add emails if you'd like. You can also do this in the initial step. There is no limit to the amount of emails that you can add. You are locked to the location that you chose. So if you want to change the location of the spot forecast, you will have to go back and create another request. But everything else you can change in here. The start forecast time, if you want a different time, you can do that in here. If you want it to be delivered at a different time, you can change that as well. And you can change any elements that you may have missed initially or that you just don't want in general. If you missed future forecast requests, you can also add that here and put in the times that you want your future forecast to come. And then at the end here, just submit the request to finalize those changes, or you can delete the request as a whole. And that concludes this tutorial video for the Spot Weather Forecast page. Thank you for watching.